Okay, so welcome to the Astral Thoughts podcast. I'll be referring to myself as Astral Boy until I guess give away my identity. But I guess yeah, till then, Astral Boy. So for this first episode of the podcast, I just really want to focus on my spiritual path. Just talk to everyone about how I got on this journey and what sparked it really, and what I'm up to now. Um, so I'm 24 years old. I'm a chemist. I live in Massachusetts. I work for a pretty well-known biotech company in Massachusetts, and pretty crazy that I'm a chemist simply because you know my life path that I've chose. It's I'm out here talking about astral projection. The power of crystals, ghosts, aliens, psychedelics, and all that. Um, but yeah, I chose to be a chemist. Why? I don't know. Hopefully, I'll figure that out at some time in the future. Hopefully soon. But yeah, my journey really started when I was a kid, probably around 5 to 8 years old. Around that time, I was walking around my parents' house in the pitch black dark, uh, talking to these like black shadow beings. I'd see them all around the house, on top of furniture, on beds and everything. And me at like say 7 years old is walking around the house in the pitch black dark, talking to shadow beings, telling them to get off the furniture, don't do this, don't do that. It's pretty weird as hell to see a kid do that. But yeah, if I had a kid and saw my child do that, I'd be freaked out. Good thing my parents didn't see me. Um, So it literally started right then and there. After that, the next thing that kind of happened was probably in high school. Had my first sleep paralysis experience, and that was pretty crazy simply because you can't move or anything, you can't talk. And during that time, I was hearing like these demonic voices taunting and laughing at me, and that was scary as hell. So I told my mom about it though, and my grandma, and they told me to read this part in the Bible, Psalms something. I read it, and they just told me to really believe in it. And I'm not a spiritual person or anything. I'm a religious person. That's what I meant. I'm not a religious person or anything, but I read it, and I really believed in the words. And the following night, I went to bed, and that same thing happened. I was hearing these demonic voices again. So I'm like, what the hell? But the crazy thing, something forced me to start saying I love you, Jesus, over and over and over and over. It's not like I thought about saying it, just happened. And at that same time I started repeating that over and over. I felt this incredible amount of love, this incredible amount of love rushing through my body from my head to toes. I felt it throughout my whole body. And my honest thought is, it was so much love, it could not be contained in a physical form. I was so overwhelmed when it happened. I literally started, crying. I felt tears running down my cheek as I'm laying in bed. Um, and at that same moment, I'm saying that over and over. I see this vision appear in front of my face, and it's this green grassland with vibrant colors. Everything's so beautiful. Um, the sky was like orange, purple, pinkish, and this grassland was just so vibrant and had all this, it was liveful with all this vegetation. It was so beautiful. um and as I'm seeing that, I'm feeling this incredible amount of love, and the only way I could describe it was like, if I won the lottery and world peace somehow happened across the world, and everyone was cured of all their illnesses. Like, it was that crazy. So I woke up from that experience, and literally, I just I just wanted to search for answers. Really, I was trying to find what the hell just happened. What did I experience? Because I've never felt anything like that. And I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do any type of like, I don't put any kind of substance in my body. And that's just the crazy part. So I literally started searching after that. Um, So the next thing that happened after that was probably um, when I got sick in high school. Um, yeah, no, it wasn't in high school. It was like it was in 2015. Um, I got this sickness where anytime I ate, I would feel nauseous, and no matter I was nauseous throughout the whole day. Didn't know what the heck it was. Anytime I ate, felt like I was gonna throw up. I'd wake up in the middle of the night feeling nauseous as hell. And what I kept doing in the middle of the night was I would go for these drives to like this 24-hour CVS and basically go get some medicine that would relieve me of the nausea. Or I'd just sometimes just go for drives just to, take my mind off the nausea, really. And so I'd drive to this CVS and get some items like, snacks or whatever. And me going there, I would go there all the time in the nighttime from like 12 a.m. or like 1 a.m. all these strange hours in the night. And one day I was wearing my chakra bracelet, and this gentleman named Gino, he basically says, "Oh, I like your chakra bracelet." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bro, I appreciate it." And that literally sparked this friendship where I would go visit this dude Gino. We'd literally just talk about spiritual stuff for hours on his shift, and it was just crazy. I was just learning so much from him. He was learning from me, and it was just crazy how well we connected. And you know and that kind of pushed me to become more spiritual, because when you surround yourself with people that are like-minded, you are gonna find yourself indulging in those activities even more, just pushing yourself to do these things. So I literally started reading more books, started meditating more, just being more conscious of decisions I made. This sickness that I got in 2015, it forced me to change my diet. So I stopped like eating pork, stopped drinking soda. I restricted myself from eating like past like 8 p.m. All these things literally just forced me to change my lifestyle, essentially. So after that, I really started reading books by Robert Monroe. I read a book by Dr. Albert Taylor. Just started finding anything I could just so I could understand this phenomenon, basically. So with that in mind, I had my first out-of-body experience when I started meditating after I read the Robert Monroe book. It was a very short experience. I meditated for about maybe 40 minutes. And when you have those meditation sessions, you just want to really just focus on your breathing, and just focus on your breathing in and out. Sometimes visualizations help. That's what I do, or whatever works for you, essentially. But I felt the vibrations, felt my body getting lighter and lighter. I felt like my body was rising. And then once you feel the vibrations happening, you just want to keep focusing on your breathing. And then I literally blacked out, and then all I remember is that I'm standing at my bed. And it was just a weird experience, because you just feel so real, so real. But that was like my first experience. The next part that kind of shifted my life, the next pivotal part in my life on my spiritual journey, was when I started to experiment with psychic abilities. So one night I told my sister to pick a number between 1 and 100, and I was like, I got this. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna do it. And that's like the power of belief right there. Just really believing in yourself really helps as well. You got to believe in yourself. You can't doubt yourself. You can't doubt your abilities. Any type of doubt, will instantly prevent you from accomplishing anything you want to do. So that night, I had it in my mind that I was gonna do it. So I told my sister to write a number between 1 and 100, put it somewhere in her room, and I'm gonna try to get it. So that following night, I started meditating. I used like this method where I count backwards, starting from 100. And sorry, I start from 100, count all the way down to 1. Each time I visualize a number, I visualize a body part, and I just acknowledge it. So I used that method. That night, and then I remember I fell asleep. And so when I fell asleep, I was like, damn. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and at the time I didn't know I was using the wake up back to bed method, but that's what I essentially did, because I woke up around 2 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna meditate again and try to see if I can see the number. So I started meditating and used the same method, and then it was very quick how I reached the vibration stage. So I reached the vibration stage, and at that moment, I just kept focusing on my breathing. No matter what, I didn't let the vibration scare me or anything. And I focused on my breathing. And then I remember I was about to like black out, but I also, right before I blacked out, I remember I literally forgot where I was. I felt like I was like in a void or something. So at that moment, I literally just thought about the number, and a number literally just popped in my mind. And at that moment, it popped in my mind. I literally knocked. I fell asleep. Yeah, I fell asleep. Woke up the next day. My sister came into my room and was like, "Did you see the number?" And I was like, "Yo, I really don't know because I fell asleep." So she was like, "What'd you see though?" I was like, "Well, I saw the number 66." And her jaw just dropped. And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she ran to her room, got the piece of paper, and showed me the number 66 written on it. So at that moment, that literally just solidified in my mind my beliefs. And the crazy thing about that too, or the nice thing about it, it's belief for yourself. On this spiritual journey, it's literally the most important thing is what you learn and what you believe. No one else can tell you wrong if you have this solid evidence. And until someone else experiences it, they're really not going to understand what you're going through. Um, but that was just like solid evidence for me that that consciousness is non-local. And basically, what I believe is that every living being, every living organism has a consciousness, and it's connected, kind of like like the iCloud or something. And we all can be connected and tap into each other's consciousness by basically raising your vibration frequency and tapping into that non-local consciousness, or that iCloud that exists basically. So after that, I literally just started searching more for truth. I just wanted to understand the science behind everything, and I just wanted to understand why these experiences happen, how they're possible. I wanted to understand how psychics are able to tap into the lives of other people and know these things that only people that are close to them should know. I wanted to learn about ghosts, how that works, the power of crystals and everything. So that's literally what I do, and basically what everything really comes down to is just frequencies and altering the vibration frequency of organisms. Funny thing about that, I literally started thinking about that when I was in high school, my senior year in chemistry class. I learned that when fire changes from the color blue to orange, or orange to blue, it literally happens because it's jumping energy levels. And when it's jumping energy levels, it's literally changing its vibration frequency. Everything has its own vibration frequency, and that just so happens when fire jumps its energy levels. So at that moment in chemistry class in high school, my junior year, I'm just literally like, what would happen if a human jumped energy levels? What would happen? Can a human jump energy levels? And yes, we can. And that's literally by, meditating and changing our vibration frequency through meditation. And when you do that, you literally jump into a different type of energy body. So that's that. That's just a little synopsis of my story. I don't know what else you guys want to know. I guess that's it for now. But this is my little podcast. Just wanted to share this with you guys. If you guys have any comments or want to share anything below, please do. You can follow me on Instagram. I did make an Instagram account for this podcast. You can follow me on Astral_Thoughts_podcast. I'll follow you guys back. Share whatever you guys want. It's cool to learn from each other. But until then, see you guys on the Astral Thoughts podcast again. Hope you have a great day.